Hello and welcome to a Brave Frontier video past April of 2020. Why yes, it is more likely than you might think, because there are a handful of things to talk today, because both there are official things that have been going on since the end of Brave Frontier's service, as well as fan-made project and art and stuff to talk about today. So the three things we're talking about are the Brave Frontier Library and by extension the Brave Frontier Archives, Various Scenes art book, which is something very exciting to talk about that we will be getting into more here in a bit. And the third thing, and this is probably the most exciting thing out of all of them, I'm sorry to them and they, Brave Frontier Recoded. If you're curious what that is, definitely check out towards the end of the video. But first, we're talking about the Brave Frontier Library. What is it? Well, it is a website made officially by Alim. That's right, the original creators of Brave Frontier have come together to make a website where you can experience all this story and lore of Brave Frontier in one place. So let us check that out right here in this video. We have the Brave Frontier Library. It is, as you might notice, entirely in Japanese. Makes sense, Alim is a Japanese company, but thankfully Google Translate can help us out here. So we're going to have Google translate all the text into English. Not everything is going to be translated because some of it's part of an art, it's part of a JPEG, PNG, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see, there's information here for Brave Frontier 2, and Brave Frontier Resina. Let's jump into things by talking about Brave Frontier. All three games will have the same thing you will see here. The left-hand side is a list of units available in the game. Seeing as this is the Japanese version of Brave Frontier, it's not going to include most, if any, of the global exclusive units or the European units. It's going to be entirely the units that Alim made themselves. So let us, for example, let's go for you, Amelia. Everyone loves Amelia. So as you can see, this is the page you're going to look at whenever you check out a unit from the unit list. It's going to have the version of Amelia right here. So this is a military hero. I don't know what that is. Huh. Never noticed this before. But the full name is Thunder Maiden Amelia. I have no clue why military hero is right here. I'm just as confused as you are. The lore of the units for that rarity. And as you can see, the animation is going to start off with the characters cycling between idle animation and attack animations. Click on this button here. It's going to be the unit idling. Click it again, nothing but the unit attacking. And once more to go back to cycling between idling and attacking. This button up here takes you to the full unit artwork for the unit, which is very nice, very clean, as well as their summon quote for that unit. Apparently, you can click on it too. If there's more than what initially appears, you can click on it too. Maybe that's the no, that's the fusion quote when you fuse units onto the units. So cool! I did not notice that before. Learn something new every time. So yes, the whole body image, as this calls it. So you can go back, you can click on the number to go to the next unit in the library. So this is going to be the next rarity of Amelia right here. Yeah. So that's it for the unit side, the unit list of things. Also, every bit of the game information here is going to include YouTube video. So it's broken up into each individual category. So it's going to be the story of Brave Frontier, as you will see right here. So we have memories of the trip of Grand Gaia, Eshkia, the journey, sealed god of broken bonds, whatever that means, a new secret, and all this. You can go through it, check it out yourself. Click on one of these, and it will take you to an area of that game. Click on that area, and it will take you to the various cutscenes you'll find throughout that area. So if you want to check out and go through the story of the game, you can do that. The only downside is all these cutscenes are entirely in Japanese, but hang on a little bit, and you can find out how to watch these cutscenes in English for Brave Frontier, not Brave Frontier 2 or Resina. And next up, we have Brave Frontier 2, which I should have saved for last, but oh well. These top two are going to be the exact same things. You have the unit list of all the units in the game. We're going to translate it entirely in English. Click on the unit. And it's going to look very similarly to how it looks in Brave Frontier. So the unit starts off in idle and attack cycling, or just idling, just attacking, and back. Unit lore for that rarity of units. Click on this to see the full unit artwork, which is very nice. The whole body image, the summon quote, the fusion quote, some other quote, I think. I don't know. I never played Brave Frontier 2. It was released only in Japan, so everything is entirely new to me. I know very little about this. And next up, we have the cutscenes of the game. So once again, broken up into each individual section. Keep on clicking until you find the YouTube links. All of these are going to be in Japanese no matter what, as the game was never released in English. And last up, we have these bottom two sections, which are only for Brave Frontier 2. Resina and the original Brave Frontier do not have these sections. First one is the World Index, which we're going to translate to English here. The World Record, or Record of the World, whatever you want to call it. And it tells you about the story of Brave Frontier through synopses. As well as stuff that happened throughout Brave Frontier 2. So if you want to read about the lore of Brave Frontier 2, you can go through and read the story. I imagine this was made available in game, but this is everything that we have within Brave Frontier 2 translated. And the last thing to talk about here is this last section, the XBB, or the Cross Brave Bursts as they're called. It is basically what dual Brave Bursts in Brave Frontier were inspired from, and this originated in Brave Frontier 2. The only difference here is I believe that both units featured in a Cross Brave Burst will appear when you use it, and I don't think you need to have both units on the squad in order to use a Cross Brave Burst. You just need to have one or the other and unlock the thing. I don't know how it worked. I never played Brave Frontier 2. And it works much like you would think. Units that have some sort of relation to each other, whether they are from the same batch or they have familiar bonds or story bonds, they will have a Cross Brave Burst together. So yeah, and then we can click on the icon, take you to a YouTube link to watch a video of that Cross Brave Burst play out. And the last thing to talk about is Brave Frontier Resina, which is going to contain the exact same things as Brave Frontier. Unit list, where you can click on a unit to look at their profile. You get the lore of that unit, as well as some story stuff concerning that unit, little sprites of that unit, and you have the just basic artwork, as well as other artwork, which I don't know how you acquired this in game. Other people who played Brave Frontier Resina could tell you how, but I have no clue. But if I had to hazard a guess, it's when you completely max out a unit's level and Brave Burst and all that fun stuff. So, and the last thing is, again, cutscenes, much like we talked about before. We're going to go through story quest on this, and it takes you once again to cutscenes from Brave Frontier Resina that you can go through and watch and enjoy entirely in Japanese. Now, some of you might be wondering, what if I want to watch the cutscenes in English? Well, for Brave Frontier 2 and Brave Frontier Resina, sadly that's not an option, as there are no English translations of the game. But if you want to watch them regardless, they are available entirely on the Brave Frontier archives. It is broken up into a variety of different ways. You can click on videos, you can find all the cutscenes from all three games available right here in one easy to find location. Links to both the Brave Frontier library and the Brave Frontier archives in the description down below. There are playlists that are broken up into arcs. So for Brave Frontier, you have the Grand Gaia arc, the Eshkia arc, Other Worlds arc, other stuff, grand quests. For Brave Frontier 2, you have the main story and side stories. And for Resina, you have, again, the main stories and side stories. As you can see, Brave Frontier 2 stuff and Brave Frontier Resina are entirely in Japanese. The other stuff are in English, taken from the global version of the game. I believe other includes cutscenes that even weren't made available through the Randall library in Brave Frontier Global. There were a handful of cutscenes that you could not watch there, and they are brought back in this section right here. So that about covers it for the Brave Frontier library and Brave Frontier archives. Definitely check both out. Both will be linked in the description down below, as well as the next bit we were talking about here, Verisine's art book, which is something I'm super excited to talk about. Verisine is a prominent member of the Brave Frontier community, known for her artwork, and of course her love for the 12 Guardians. That's right, the 12 Guardians of the Gods now have a 148 full-color art book entirely dedicated to them. Because Verisine is a fan of the game, this is a fan-made art book as I mentioned, 148 full-color art pages, with full illustrations of the units as well as sprites of the units. The book will also include in-depth alternate universe lore, which is just a fancy way of saying headcanons. Voice lines from the games are included as well, and maybe additional, like, original voice lines? I do not know. I don't have the book yet. I will talk about how you can get the book here in just a moment. There's also bonus content available in the book that is very nondescript, so who knows what's in there? I don't. The only person who does is they. So definitely pick up the art book if you can. A link to the order page is down below. There are 2 links, as there are 2 ways you can order this. The book costs $40 US. It ships to Indonesia locally, or there's international shipping that you can order as well, which does bump up the cost a little bit, depending on where you live, but it is very much worthwhile to get anyway, and the pre-order is up until the end of September 10th. So once September 10th rolls around, you can no longer order a physical copy of the art book. However, digital copies will become available at that point as well. So if you also love the 12 Guardians of the Gods, definitely pick up this art book. I cannot recommend it enough. I'm picking up a copy for myself. I might pick up a copy for some friends if they want as well, if they don't want to buy it themselves. But I am excited. I'm picking it up immediately after this video gets uploaded to YouTube. I'm picking this up. So link to that down below, as I mentioned. Also link to the tweets promoting the art books. So if you want to help Vay get the word out before September 10th rolls around, definitely go check out that tweet, retweet it, like it, just get the word out there, dude. And the last thing to talk about today is Brave Frontier Recoded. There are a lot of things to talk about with this because it is just a very big project that is work is getting started on as we speak. So what is this? Brave Frontier Recoded is a group of people coming together, a group of fans. So this is not Gumi or Lim come together to remake Brave Frontier. No, it is fans come together to remake Brave Frontier from the ground up. Because of this is the only downside to talk about, so we're just going to get this out of the way immediately. All the accounts that people had on Brave Frontier, whether it be the Japanese accounts, European accounts, or global accounts, none of those accounts are being restored. So everyone, you, me, the creators of the games, are starting from day 1. And by day 1, I do mean day 1. The game is being recreated following the same roadmap as Brave Frontier, so this is starting like Brave Frontier did back in December of 2013, with just a handful of batches of units they can summon from the get-go. That's right, there are no Omnis, no 6 stars, no 7 stars. It's nothing but 1 star all the way up to 5 star at max. However, not too sure about the last bit because the creators have been talking about doing some changes here and there. So, what are some things they're talking about? They're talking about doing some quality of life improvements. I'm not sure what quality of life improvements they have planned. I think one thing is maybe something to do with energy restoration. Some things to do with crafting and all of that fun stuff. So just vague quality of life improvements. If you want to know more, definitely check out the link down below to the Brave Frontier Recoded page. And I believe there's a Discord server on there, so definitely check that out too. One thing that is very exciting to talk about is that there are absolutely no microtransactions or in-app purchases, which means there's no way to pay to get more gems or other goodies. To compensate for this, this goes into quality of life improvements, there are going to be more gems given out to everyone, so everyone's going to be on pretty much the exact same playing field, so there's no pay-to-win incentives, as you cannot pay at all for the game. The game is made entirely free, with no payment options in the game. So there is no way to officially support the game creation, the game being remade. Another thing to note is that this is a browser-based game, so there's no need to download an app on your iPhone or Android or BlueStacks or anything like that. It is going to be done entirely on the browser, though there might be some talks of trying to get it working on mobile, but there's nothing concrete there. It's just an idea. A lot of the stuff that people are talking about on the Discord server are just ideas. As I mentioned, that this is following the exact same roadmap as Brave Frontier, starting in December of 2013. which means as the months go on, we will be getting more and more units in the game. So if there's any unit that you liked, especially from the Omni era, you will have to be patient, but the units are being planned to be implemented in at some point. I do not know if I'm mentioning game balancing changes, but they're rebalancing the gameplay, trying to make things a little bit less jank, less OP, less power creepy. Of course, with increased rarities, like units are going to be stronger the higher rarity it is, but within the same rarity, units are going to be roughly around the same strength, whether that means just making some units weaker later on or giving units buffs later on. So however route they want to go down it, they will go down whatever route they choose. It is not up to us to decide how that works, although they are accepting community feedback once the game launches, as well as maybe some stuff before the game launches. And one more thing to talk about is events. Limited time events from Brave Frontier are being kept to being limited time. Towards the end of Brave Frontier's life cycle in the year of 2021 through 2022, Gumi did make seasonal events available year-round. So if you wanted to do the Easter dungeon during Halloween, you could. However, in the remake of Brave Frontier, Easter dungeons are staying just around the month of April, Halloween dungeons for October, and all that fun stuff. So if you want to try and make sure you get the event dungeons done and the limited time dungeons done, you want to be playing during those time periods. I imagine that previous year dungeons will be coming back every year. So like for April Fools, we never got the nice burning dungeons after a certain point. I imagine those will be coming back every year. So imagine. Don't take my word on it. I'm not part of the dev team. So yes, Brave Frontier Recoded. Check out the links down below to find out how to join the Discord server, to find out how you can support the creation of Brave Frontier Recoded without dropping money. Pretty much just being there and being excited. That's all the support you really need. And with that about does it for this video. If you guys are excited for the Brave Frontier library being worked on by Lim, or the Brave Frontier archives where you can watch the cutscenes of the game, if you're excited for Vay's art book, or if you're excited for Brave Frontier Recoded, leave a like on the video, or if you just, like my face. If you want to find more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, and when I upload more videos talking about Brave Frontier or anything else, if I decide to actually go through with the changes I talked about before, subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. No need to do that. Just watch the videos. That's all that really matters. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.